That. Bish bash bosh. Right, here we go, chat. Is it working? Yeah, boom, there we go. Okay. So, today, chat, just center that up a little bit. There we go, that's beautiful. Okay, chat, so today, yo, no to love, how we doing? Welcome in, everyone. Okay, sorry for leaving you for a little bit. We had some technical issues, but I couldn't get my mic to work. For love nor money. Turns out the cable in the bottom was a little bit fucking loose. I don't know what was happening. I had to unplug it and all that sort of shit. Then reset it up in Streamlabs. So it's just a whole palaver. But it's done now. It's working. Hope you guys can hear me okay. Hope the filters are still working, etc. But yeah, welcome to episode 6 of the Reign of Anarchy Through Our Eyes podcast. And today, with popular demand from last week's poll, was cheaters. We're going to be talking about cheating.
You are a smelly pirate.
Yo, Ren, how we doing, dude? We're going to be talking about cheating, cheaters. Yeah, basically as a whole sort of thing, right? Why do you have a fat naked man on the screen? That's Ginge. But also, thanks for the hunt showdown, I love it. But also, what I want to do today, if it's possible, is I would like to invite you guys in the audience that are watching, if you want to come out of the chat and come and share your thoughts and whatever in the Discord, you're more than welcome to. It's kind of an open discussion today. I got a cup of tea just to relieve a little bit of stress. So that's what we want to do. And also, I would like your guys' input in some ideas of talking points for next week. We're going to have 3. We're going to pick from 3. And it'll be really, really cool to get your guys' idea. You know, you guys are the ones that are tuning in, and it'll be really cool to see what you guys come up with, and then we can put a poll up later on in the stream, and then we can vote for the one we want to do. But yeah, I suppose without further ado, we need to get started. I guess. Oh, so we have got the one and only Rage today. Now, Rage. This is all Rage's idea. I'm going to be honest. I'm going to put it all on him now. No, I'm joking. Reign of Anarchy. When I met Rage back in the day, we had always discussed about like something that was just a little bit bigger than just our little friendship group. You know what I mean? And he come up with the Reign of Anarchy, and it's all his idea. And he's an absolute legend. So we got Rage today, and we've got the good old Ginge, which Bean's just referred to as the fat man on my screen. And I'll have you say that he's not fat, he's festively plump all year round, Beans. And 2 seconds, I just need to read this. Rix, get ready for a clip. Obviously not now, because I'm saying get ready to clip it. It looks a bit false, like we're making false content. But, right, here we go. Rixie! Your head is so big, your left and right ears are in different time zones. Fuck you, man. That was a good one. I like that one. Gary, how we doing, man? Chad, how we doing? How are we doing? So, yeah, for those of you that just jumped in, if any of you want to, you're more than welcome to come and join us in the Discord. Just jump in the waiting room, and you can share your maybe thoughts, experiences, on cheating, cheaters, etc, etc, etc. So I'm expecting this to get maybe a little bit heated, but also I want to dive more into cheating as a whole, right? I want to dive a little bit more in, so we might do a little bit of an open investigation on the stream here. How we doing, Chad? I hope you're well, man. I always love your name, dude. I fucking love your name. No worry. No. It's not mandatory, but it's not mandatory, but I just wanted to open it up to the audience. We're going to try some new things, right, with the podcast. We want to be a little bit different. I mean, anyone can chuck a podcast on, but it's actually really difficult for people to actually want to listen to a podcast because it's got to be a topic, and you've got to like the presenters, the co-hosts, because you're only hearing voices. So we want to do something just a little bit different. That's all. Unless we have to listen to Mads. Right, let me get this sorted. Let's say hello to the boys. Oh, we've got Gary. And Gary has just joined us as well. What a legend. Here we go. Hello, boys.
Hello.
So
Hello.
telling me you didn't stick it in properly, you perv.
Who didn't stick what in properly?
You, the cable to the mic.
Oh, mate, I don't know. No, I knocked it, right? So before stream, I knocked it. And then I always do like a little tester on the bars before I go live. Like, do you know what I mean? Then I was like, shit, it's 2 minutes past 7. I've just got to go live. And I'll fix it. Yeah, it took me a while. But you're probably lucky. Probably lucky it was muted. Because otherwise you'd have just done bang, bang, bang.
Just for when stream's finished, you sound okay through Steam, but you sound a bit echoey in Discord.
Oh, okay. Oh, I know what that is. There's also a Windows update yesterday, right?
It's because he's got his head in his ass.
Yeah,
And Windows likes to reset everything. Doesn't it?
it does.
So let me just have a quick look at that. So, lads, cheating, right? Cheaters, etc. What I thought we could do while I'm fiddling with this is we could start off by looking at not so much what cheats are available, but kind of try and work out when cheating first came about in video games.
Oh, they've been around forever.
Well, yeah, exactly. And just a little bit of background on, the first game that was ever used cheats on, how when we used to play our PlayStation or thingy games, you used to actually put cheat codes in, you know what I mean? So you could like boss the level and stuff like that. But yeah, I don't know if you guys have got any experiences of putting those cheat codes in and what games you played and what cheats you had when you were growing up. Over to you.
Well, this is going to date me completely.
Okay.
Sinclair Spectrum 48K.
Oh my God, Goran.
Jesus, I don't even know what that is.
Yeah.
Get a picture of it.
I do.
Yeah. It was basically there's that, the Commodore 64.
Oh, I had the Commodore.
That as well.
I had that.
And the Amstrad.
Yeah, but the
They were all
Commodore was like 10 years prior to... No, the Spectrum was like 10 years prior to the Commodore.
1982 it was. And there was a game, it was like a side-scroll racing game.
Yep.
Called Fury, I think it was. And you position the cursor in a certain place on the screen.
Yeah.
Press the WS keys on the keyboard, and you got into a menu that you could just buy everything.
What for nothing?
I've got.
For normal, just in-game currency or whatever.
It was just basically.
You could just click on it, whatever, and you just get it.
Yeah.
Nice.
So
it's like being an admin.
You're racing against other cars. You got to shoot them. And basically car wars or something like that. It was based around.
Okay. Nice.
And it was in one of the magazines.
So it literally gave you like admin mode, practically.
Yeah, you could just do whatever you want. So you refill your health, buy all the best weapons.
And just repeat that year again, Gary. And what year was this?
1982.
I was still in my daddy's sack then, mate.
Should I make you sick, Marsh?
Go on.
Way back in 1978, there was a little thing called an Atari games console.
I had an Atari.
No, you would have had the 2600, the slimline one.
I don't know what
Not
it
the
was,
one that
but
looked
I
like,
just
not
had,
the one that looked like wood.
I just had Space Invaders and ping pong on it. That's all I had.
On the original one,
Yeah.
Space Invaders, behind the cartridge at the back was a little switch.
Right.
At which point you flicked it from A to B.
Okay.
On Space Invaders, it made the thing you were controlling go from normal size to half size.
Right. So it was
like a
harder
big
for you
shuttle
to.
pod.
Yes. It was harder for you to get eaten or whatever.
Harder for you to be shot at and hit, yes. It means you could actually hide behind the shields and be
What?
covered.
And that was in the cartridge.
No, that was on the console.
Oh, it's on the console. What?
If you did it on the game which you originally got with the console called Combat, it made your tanks or planes or whatever faster or slower.
How the hell did they code that to be able to do that in different games?
Is it out today? Trial and error.
Oh, that's mad.
If you want
I've
more,
just sent you the link to that game as well.
Oh, have you?
Oh
Oh
Nice.
my god.
Guys,
if you want
Mike,
want a
it's
more
input
recent
or
one-
output? Input, right?
Input.
That's why. Tell me if it sounds better. I think everything's changed.
oh, that sounds better.
Is that better, yeah?
Yeah,
Yeah.
no echo.
Oh, this should be hilarious. Coming and going.
Okay, my sensitivity's not. That's good. Okay, cool. Right, let's get back to the Discord.
Wow. That reminds me of what is it? Moon Patrol?
Oh my god.
What's this? What's this?
So this
Gary-
is that game I was telling you, just
Oh, really?
saying. So the actual release date of that one was 1988.
Oh my god. Okay, okay.
I was still in
Alright.
junior school then.
There was a computer game called Spy Hunter, which is an upward scrolling driving James Bond type shoot everything on the road thing.
hmm
If you crashed and died close to where the road was the widest, the truck would come along and drop you at the side of the road. At which point you could drive off the map to the edge of the screen and just drive up the edge of the screen, missing everything.
Oh wow, look at that.
I can remember. Oh my god! It was like I think it was Street Fighter when on the Super Nintendo or whatever. You have to bash like fucking 15 buttons, like one after each other, to unlock like different skin,
That's
like
mad.
character costumes and things. But cheap wise, that shit's been around for a long time.
Yeah,
A long time.
yeah.
Yeah, you used to have to put in, it was like poke commands into games. It'll give you all infinite cash and all sorts of stuff.
See, I
you
never
used to
really
wi-
got into that
Fucking
until
hell, Ginge.
was there was an invincible cheat on Command and Conquer on the PlayStation. Because what me and my friends used to do is the first PlayStations, right? The big grey bulky fucking things. You put the disc in the top, right? We used to get two of them, two TVs, and then you used to get a cable and link them. Then you could fight each other on Command and Conquer, Red Alert.
Yep.
On the game. So he would. The cable was only like, I don't know, 3 foot or whatever, so it wasn't very long. And we would literally, one of us would be sat in the hallway of his upstairs, and one of them would just be sat in his bedroom because that's how far the cable would bend around the door. And there used to be a cheat on that you used to be able to. It was something. I can't remember how he exactly did it, but it's in the pause menu, and you hit a sequence of buttons, and it would make you invincible. And I didn't tell him about it, and I used to always do that, and yeah, win every time.
Marsh, should I show you our age now?
Go on then.
You realise the original Command and Conquer's predates Windows.
What was it?
It was a DOS game.
Oh,
Yeah, Marsh, I actually had one of these. Hold on. I'll just try and grab it. Or grab something
okay, let's
that's
let's
going on.
off a little bit of chat right now.
Here you go. Got it.
You might
You
want to
used
scroll
to-
back and read Beans' comment. It was hilarious.
yeah, moderately civilized. No, I get that.
Alright, see this that I've just posted in chat. You used to be able to buy these, and they used to come with a little spring. For the old PS1, and you used to put the spring in the lid,
Oh,
Put
Rick,
the
you're a
cartridge
bit as
thing in-
well.
put the cartridge thing in the back, and do naughty things on the internet and not pay for games.
Oh,
But it also had in it a database where you flick the switch up and it inputs cheats and whatever into games.
exactly. And this is what I wanted to get into, Chad. 100%. Like I wanted that just to kind of soften it up and soften up the conversation and get us rocking and rolling. But you know, is cheating in single player games kind of even cheating? You know,
You're only cheating
when
yourself, though, aren't you?
yeah, exactly. You're just cheating yourself, really, right? If you can't get past the level, or you can't get, you know, I don't know, a certain item or something. Surely you're just taking the going a quick way. You know, you're kind of cheating
Well,
yourself.
you're cheating yourself, but back in the day,
But it was
games
fun.
didn't used to have the difficulty levels. It was, this is the game. You are trying to
Yeah,
play. You are playing it. So for people who couldn't get past a boss or couldn't do something, that was the only way of doing it.
I think a lot of the cheating things is but more so single player. It just comes down to your own how you see things. Do you know what I mean?
exactly. And when does it become cheating? Because I can wholehandedly heart say that I've never ever cheated in any video game, right?
Bullshit.
Any video game. But then when I was a kid, well,
Hang
say
on, hang on, hang on,
they
hang on.
never cheated in
Right,
any
Hold on, hold on, hold on.
modern
You've never,
PvP game or
you've
whatever.
never cheated in a video game.
But then on a
Speedruns.
well, yeah, again, is
Ah,
that
yeah.
cheating?
So at what point does exploiting become cheating?
Exactly. Well, these are all the questions we need to fucking home down, right?
Because Division was full of it, and every single one of
Oh,
them
I used to
at
live
some
stream it.
point.
I used to broadcast it.
Exactly. So it's not something that we can all turn
But
around and
is
go,
it?
"Oh
Yeah,
no, we didn't do
but what
anything
I'm
like
saying
that,"
is, and
because
exactly
at some point we have.
what Chad's saying is, it's a single player. It's a multiplayer game, but it's not a player versus player. It's just against AI. So is that acceptable? Is that why it was accepted and it wasn't shut down? Ubisoft didn't do anything about it. It's because it's just like, oh, these guys, if they want to break the game, they can break the game. It's just against AI. We don't even know what our coding is anyway, so we can't fix it. But you know what I mean? Are we going to make a big deal? We're going to start banning people because they're
But they did.
Yes.
They did. When
yeah, but
people was farming XP from certain things, they stopped it, and
yeah,
people got
because they were
caught
going
doing it.
into the
They
dark
banned them.
zone and killing people, right? With the whole raid situation, that was something that was outside of the normal world map, you know, and it was in its own designated area, and you couldn't do that anywhere else apart from in the raid.
So
Yeah.
the first completionists that cheated on both raids
That was so
Should have got
solid
banned.
screwing that, wasn't it?
should still be on the wall in the base of ops. Nah, fucking ban them. Take them around. Don't let them take
I
it.
don't know if they cheated. Did they cheat?
Oh man, the had an unfair advantage. Had all the physics, all everything written down in the text document. Of course they cheated.
Oh yeah, I
It's an
remember
unfair
that
advantage.
document coming out. Yeah, they got yes, they got
I've
like
still got a
a
copy
list of the mechanics, didn't they?
I looked at the document. I thought, how the
Yeah, they got a
fuck did
list of the
work all that out?
mechanics and everything, so they kind of had no idea of what they were doing before they even went in. Yeah, I remember that.
No way in the world you'd have worked that out in a day otherwise.
No.
Mm, yeah, no, I remember
But
that shit.
again, it's the same as things like, see, with servers and things like that, when you use spawn codes, like admin codes, or what do you call them, console codes, and whatever not.
Yeah.
It's down to, again, if you're playing on your own server and you're doing your own thing, is that then cheating?
Yeah, I would say no. I would go back to the
But
point what Garion was saying. Like back in the day, games didn't have an easy, medium, hard, or extreme mode or whatever. So you know, once you completed the game, they were probably very short. I don't remember really playing many campaign games when I was young, but they're probably very short. So in order to get your not so much get your money's worth, but like if you had all this extra, it was basically extra content, right? Do you remember G2A in this solo player game? You know, before it went multiplayer, you could
Yeah.
have loads of cheats to boost your money, to spawn whatever gun you wanted in, and all that sort of stuff. And it was like once you'd done the main story missions, there was nothing else to do. You know, there was no multiplayer. There was no you could buy a load of fucking laundry shops and as your money laundering thing, own strip clubs, nightclubs, You know, that sort of. There was none of that. It was literally you could just run around the street and beat people up and get chased by the police, and that was pretty much it. You know?
What GTA?
Yeah,
Do you want
Yeah,
the
so
best map? Do you know the first one?
yeah.
There was the ducks at the bottom right. If you filled the dockyard up with cars and shut it once, you cleared the level. Because they used to
Ah.
exponentially increase the score and the XP until you pass the level.
Ah.
Oh, I love
And I
Beans.
found that by accident.
What's going on here?
Beans is picking on men.
I think for a single player game, basically giving yourself infinite health, or is it causing any harm? No.
No, it's not.
If you're stuck on something, it's your choice
Yeah, yep.
to do that and to load the trainer up and do whatever you want.
Well, yeah, I mean, you've paid your money. You want to play the game. If you can't get past a bit and you want to use a cheat to get past it, or you want to use a cheat to finish it, you're paying to see the rest of what you paid for.
Yeah. If it's a live service game, multiplayer, anything like that, then your machine should be,
Mac
or
bar,
the MAC address,
all the equipment in your machine.
Yeah.
and then banned. If you are caught running a bot, cheat program, radar, anything like that.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, I think that's the line, right? When it goes into giving you an unfair advantage against other players, other people, other humans. Right? When you're
Yeah.
playing against other humans, that's when the line is drawn, I would say. You know what I mean? Because if you're on your own, whatever, yeah, fucking have fun. You know, it's whatever's going to make your experience fun. But when it comes to uh, a competitive environment, PvP game against other human beings, you know, someone else is controlling that character that you're fighting against or doing whatever against, you know. I think that's
I
when it
can-
becomes a problem. But then, like you say, with Division inside the raid, where it's only PvE and you're exploiting game mechanics, is that cheating?
Yeah.
Yes, because not everybody's got that exploit.
But no,
But
my
we haven't
theory
got an
is
exploit. This is what I'm saying. Is we're
if
doing
if
certain
they're
things in the game to force things to happen. We've not got a piece of software on our computer that's making us do that. We haven't gone onto a website and bought a cheat, you know, and installed it onto our computer. We're literally just using game mechanics to break itself, if that makes sense.
no,
Yes, but
my
the point is,
theory.
not everybody has access to that game mechanics breaking information. So technically, that's a cheat sheet.
So
Once they put leaderboards in, it become
There you
well,
go.
because-
There you go, Rags. That is the point that I want hoping we were going to get round
because
to.
at that point you've got something to a one up on someone. Do you know what I mean?
Exactly. And
You've got
speed
something
running
to
back
aim
in the
for.
day, there was, as much as we all said that we got on with each other, there was so much competition there and animosity to someone that beat your time score. That was the driving thing, was to beat that clan, was to be on top of that clan, you know?
I thought the driving thing was the woman with a whip.
Well, yeah, apart from that.
So if you go in for speed runs, Division, Ubisoft don't really see
Well, exactly.
breaking the mechanics in the way that the speedrunners are doing it as cheating. Because getting to a certain point, dying, reloading, that's just the game mechanics.
Yep. It's exploiting the game mechanics, right?
No, you're not exploiting it. The game mechanics are doing exactly what they're supposed to do. It's the actual outcome of that isn't an exploit. It's just giving you the bonus on the speed.
Yeah.
If you did something and
I mean,
it caused
we used to skip
more
mechanics.
damage.
You know what I mean? Where we used to skip mechanics. So like phases, we used to skip phases. You used to do certain things to skip phases, but you never got bonus damage.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You never had more armor than you were supposed to have without using in-game stuff like Vanguard and things like that. You never, do you know what I mean? You could never run faster. You never had any speed hacks. You know what I mean? You've got a fucking radar on the screen that tells you where the enemies are.
Yeah. The only one that's questionable, if we're going to take Division and Steel Donkey, the doors. So when the doors look all open,
Right. Okay. Yeah. They're actually
so
not.
that is a broken aspect within the game that you're
Broken
getting a
game
benefit
mechanic.
from.
Yeah.
But you're not intentionally doing that. You can't force that to
But
happen.
that's the problem, is they could force it to happen in the end. They worked out how to do it so the doors will spawn open. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Actually
But
turned into a thing.
ultimately, if Ubisoft are massive are looking at it and going, yeah, these speedrunners, fine, let them do it. They are beating themselves.
Yeah, and honestly, like, I think the coverage the speedrunning got for the raids for Ubisoft was actually really positive.
Yeah.
Because there was a lot of hype and buzz around it, you know?
And it helps Ubisoft as well because they can see how their game is reacting.
Well, exactly. Even though they've
So
just admitted that they don't even know their own code. But anyway, that's a different situation,
So
right?
just to address that one then quickly, it's not they don't know their own code. It's
Yeah.
the dev team that they've got now are picking up code from somebody else.
Right, okay.
Because the new dev team is a different set of people than the original dev team.
But
And to
it
pick
just
up someone
doesn't.
else's code.
Yeah, it just doesn't bode well that the original dev team has either left or been moved on to other projects, but can't help this current dev team with the code. Does that make sense? Like, it just seems really counterintuitive to me.
Yeah,
You know?
they're working on Avatar, Star Wars, whatever.
Yeah.
It's not fair to get them to put that project behind to fix.
Yeah. Okay. So
So
we can all say with chat as well. I know that Ren and Beans are going at it, and but I think we can safely say that we can draw the line with PvE and PvP, right? PvE, single solo game, whatever. That's down to you what you want to do. Yeah.
yeah.
PvP, where you're fighting another human being in the video game, or you're doing something against another human, and it gives you anything that gives you an advantage is not cool, right?
Well, even PvE online. So Division.
Yeah. You know, like Ray said with the leaderboards and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Anything
So
that's affecting.
if it's a live service game on the
Yeah.
internet, yeah, basically do one.
Yeah. Okay. All right. So I guess the next question is I think it's really, really hard to.
That's what she said.
It's really hard to understand why people cheat without speaking to someone that cheats. If that makes sense. So I suppose
No.
was
It's
your
not, it's not really hard to cheat without speaking to somebody. 99% of anybody that plays computer games these days knows there is cheats, trainers, anything else to help you get past any part of the game that you can't do because you're crap.
Single player, multiplayer, doesn't really matter.
And now we have Google or Bing or any other search engine you want to use, and all you've got to do is put, for example, EFT cheats, and you'll be given a page full of the fuckers that you can pay your money for.
Well, the thing is, right, if you go way back when you had the consoles, when the consoles and that first come out,
Yeah.
the only time you would ever come across cheats or anything like that is in like gaming magazines.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
PlayStation Monthly or whatever the fuck it was called or whatever. And that was the only time you really had access to anything like that. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But now it's everywhere. There's no way around it. You got companies that are just dedicated to doing that shit.
Well, this is what I was saying to Jen just before the stream. I think it's more of it's an actual industry within an industry now, right?
Yeah, and the game developers are cracking down on it.
Yeah.
So there's people that
Need to
have
look that
been
up, Chad.
that were selling cheats that game developers have gone after and have successfully sued them.
Oh, okay.
I know Battlefield, I think it was Battlefield and also Call of Duty at one time went after a certain website. I'm not sure what one it was over it.
Well, there's one that's just been closed down over in China, isn't there? A big cheating farm. Does a lot of games.
I
So
know.
Bungie, literally back 21st of Feb, they sued a Destiny 2 cheat developer.
Oh, okay.
For 4 million.
Jesus, that's
June,
a good payday.
yeah, June 22. Destiny cheat maker agrees to pay 13.5 million. Modern Warfare 2 maker charged 3 million. So the game developers, if you are selling a cheat, they will go after you. And has he gone?
He has.
Oh.
So whilst he's disappeared, Chad said about difference between quality of life mods and actual cheats, because there's some mods, Fallout 76, whilst that was online, you used to be able to run mods, and
I think Chad said something like this in the chat.
yeah, that's what I just picked
Yeah,
that
nice.
up.
Thank you. Because I actually had to look what quality QOL was in the definitely. It's obviously quality of life, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
So there's a few online games that used to have mods available.
Well, we've played some of them, haven't we? We've done Ark and whatnot.
Yeah. And for something like Ark, it's okay because it's a mod that you are installing on your server. The only people that are benefiting are you, because you are running your own server.
Oh,
So,
yeah, everyone that
Yeah.
joins has access to the same shit, I suppose, if you look at it that
Yeah.
way.
Yeah, I think that was going to be my point to it. For what Chad wrote is that if these mods do give you advantage, everyone gets the advantage. It's not just you. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, which is totally fair. It's you are playing, or you are.
You're just changing the parameters of the game mechanics, right? That's all you're doing,
Yeah.
basically.
You're giving people to play the game that you want to play.
Yeah.
So Fallout 76 had mods that you could alter config files on locally, and it would impact the live game.
Yeah.
Which is questionable. But then Fallout 76 is questionable, full stop.
Well, yeah, I've not played them yet. It was on the list.
Whatever you do, don't no. Fallout 1, 2, 3, 4, yeah, not a problem. Fallout 76, stay well clear.
Okay.
I've not tried 76. I just heard it was a load of shit, so I didn't even bother.
Yeah.
Involved with it.
It's the only one I haven't played, to be fair.
If it's anything that's giving the same advantage to everybody on the server,
Yeah.
that's fine. If you are individually gaining an advantage over somebody else playing on the same server, again, it's not a mod, really. You are altering the game mechanics in your favor.
Yeah. Okay. No, I agree with that. I agree with that. What about you, Chad? Right, Chad. I play Payday 2 with a lot of quality of life mods. For example, I use much more extended version of the game hard, and normally the default hard.
Oxide.
Like, you know what? I've actually seen that, and I've wondered how people do that shit. It's clearly a mod.
Hoxad,
Kill
Wolfhard,
cooldowns.
they all do.
Meaning that I have,
I've used Oxford before. That was good.
but
We weren't allowed to use it in
gameplay.
TCM, was we?
But
Not really.
you have advantage against what AI? Like,
So again, Payday 2 is
again, you know, if you were fighting other players, Chad, then I'll say, yeah, that's probably a bit exploity, right? You know, that mod's not cool, but you're just fighting AI. Like,
To be fair,
there's no real
we-
competition in Payday, is there? It's just the difficulty of having 4 blokes or, you know, 4 players to work as a team in order to achieve the, you know, the end goal.
Or one person to try and do it and the other 3 to pick
Well,
them
this
up
is
like
what
Crash.
normally happens: is Rage does all the shit, and I just sit there and shoot shit and die.
They get picked up all the time.
Yeah,
and if it's
The thi-
information that's available on the HUD or you can get that's just being relayed or repositioned to make it easier, and that's just pure quality of life.
yeah, yeah. I would say that's pure quality of life, dude. To be fair,
To be fair, with the Hoxard and Wolfhard and this and the other, what it basically does is the stuff that they didn't put in. It will tell you how many pages you can answer. You will left to answer, so you ain't got to sit there and go, "Was that 3 or 2?"
yeah, or
You know,
like go
it's
into
just
the
shit.
menu to look it up and shit like that. Yeah,
There's a lot of stuff like that in it, which is really not in the base game, but certain communities, including the one me and Jack and that was part of, would always kick off if anyone used it.
Yeah.
I used it when I first started playing Payday, way back when, and when I joined fucking TCN and whatever not, I then had to stop using.
Yeah, because they were like, we just want it.
Well, yeah, because it's basically cheating, and it's not. It's not fucking cheating. It's just it just tells you more information.
Yeah, but like
and
the stature that TCN was at, you know, how big it was within a community, the people that were streaming it, broadcasting it, whatever, you know, the faces of the community, they couldn't be seen
Yeah.
to be playing with someone because it's a controversial subject, right? That had it on. Is that pretty much why you had to have it off?
Hoxford wasn't really an unfair advantage. It just put the information in a quicker to read format for you on screen. I think the only thing it did originally, the benefit me was it told you how many pages you got left, but you can press tab now and see that for yourself.
That was probably the biggest bit of information it gave you over anything else. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Like I said, so it weren't like, oh, that was if you haven't played a lot of Payday, which the stealth side of it,
Mhm.
it's easy to forget how many pages you used. But obviously, over the years, you kind of get used to it.
Yeah, Chad, by the way, you are like amongst Payday legends. Like literal legends within this Discord.
What legend
In
in
the
his own
community.
lunchtime?
We got Jack, who was like, what was he like? That the speed running solo sneaky shit.
Yeah,
He
he's
was
the one
like,
that done the bomb dockyard in fucking something stupid like 6 minutes or something like that.
yeah.
In stealth.
And then obviously Rage and that was all part of TCN. Yeah, there's some
Both in
legends
Windows.
within this community. Rex is like, where?
Usually on the floor, Ricks.
Cheers, Ricks.
Just let me
Nope.
escape this coffin you have buried me in. Oh my god. I use vanilla hard plus. Like,
Marsh does play Payday now and then, and so does Run.
yeah, we'll definitely play some Payday at some point, dude.
You just got to get him to install it again. His internet's shit.
Trash. It's so. That's literally
It's
the only
not
thing
his
that puts
internet,
me
it's-
off.
The 4090 won't run it. You should have got a 4080.
I should have got a 40. I should have got a 4080. I should have got a 4080. Okay, right. So, okay.
Yeah, he missed a lot. He did miss a lot, Red.
Okay, no worries, Ren. Well, considering you have mod privileges, I'll hope that, yeah, nothing that's going to cause serious issues, but I trust you, man. I trust you.
You trust your mods, you muppet.
Well, someone's got to, right?
I don't trust your mods.
Oh, yeah, I keep saying it, but you don't listen to me.
Beans, you
I
do
allowed
not
it.
have to
All right,
apologise.
Rexy, you know what? If Rixie says he's allowed, to be fair, Rixie's, yeah.
If Ren can get away with it, Beans, you are fine. Trust me.
That's all good, guys. All good. I love it. I love it. Okay, so anything that can give you a advantage over other players within a video game nowadays is cheating, right? Just simple, straight down the middle is cheating.
PvP, player to player, yes.
Okay, so the other thing is the next question I want to ask you guys and the community is why? Okay. What sort of people cheat? As in,
Anybody.
Anybody.
You think anybody's capable of it?
That's
Or
like
do you
saying,
think
what does a
it's-
mass murderer look like, Marsh? Fucking hell. It's just one of the things. It happens.
Okay, then why do people cheat?
For the advantage. It is pure.
But
It's got
why?
to be purely that, PvE or whatever side of things, I suppose is slightly different. But, if someone can't be asked to grind for something or whatever, or maybe, or I don't know, like I said, games that are ridiculously hard, people can't do it, then maybe I'll see it. I can see it. But per person, it's someone who I would imagine who either is a bit butthurt or a bit pissed off, maybe, with getting their arse handed to them. I don't know. Or you get the other side of it, or someone that's running to cheaters constantly over and over in the same game. He's like, if you can't beat them.
If we take single player games out of the equation,
Yep. Completely.
because it's if you want to do that, it's fine. It's your choice.
Mhm.
Multiplayer games, sometimes it's bragging rights.
Yeah. Okay.
Do you get a lot of like effectively, again, show my age, script kiddies doing it because the friend in school got this super skin, they haven't got the time to do it, so they get a cheat off somebody and it just spirals from there. Or just because they can, they've got the cheat. Let's go and have a little bit of fun with this.
Yeah.
But
it's not
again,
always.
It's fun for them at other people's expense, right?
Yeah, it's not always malicious.
Yeah, I can agree with that.
They're just going in there. They've got the cheat. They know the chance of them getting banned very, very low, or they run the risk of, okay, yeah, fine. If we get banned, we get banned.
Yeah. Pure comical thing. But going a little bit deeper, do you not think the high pressure kind of society that we currently live in has a lot to do with it? You know, that sort of striving to be the best, that you can possibly be like the top, I mean, from a streamer's point of view, right?
Yeah, here we go.
No, I just want to put this point of view across, okay? So it's an extremely, extremely competitive business, right?
Cool.
there are hundreds and thousands of people trying to do the exact same thing as I'm trying to do, right? Or what any
Right.
streamer's trying to do. Everyone's trying to do the same shit, right? Everyone's trying to make a living from it. Who doesn't want to sit down with an awesome community and play video games and get paid for it? Everyone wants to do that shit, right? Everyone that likes that sort of thing is going to want to go for that, right?
Yeah, right.
So,
okay.
what makes you stand out from Joe Blogs that's playing the same game as you, right? Is it not? There you go. There you go. And this is the exact behavior that I'm talking about, right? Is, you know, someone that doesn't know Ricks or doesn't thingy could take that that comment and be like, "Oh, I need to get better. I need to get better. How am I going to do that?" The quick and easy method would be to spend a bit of money, mum and dad's credit card, and buy some cheats.
I would call that more the lazy method.
Yeah, but it's a shortcut, right? It's a shortcut to sitting and putting hours into a game that you want to grind.
Take Modern Warfare then.
Yeah,
The cheats in that are wall hacks or seeing through walls. So you get the red box around players, so you know exactly where they are.
yeah.
That's about it, really.
Aimbot.
Because
Aimbot, no recoil. There's all sorts
Yeah.
go on in Call of Duty.
I think that, yeah, I think there's a lot.
so
Apex Legends right now, there's a cheat that if someone shoots you, you cannot stop your character from reloading its gun. You can't physically shoot back at them.
That would piss me right off.
But you know what I
Yeah,
mean? That's how advanced the shit's getting right now.
that's manipulating netcode.
Yeah, that is, and lag switching, shit like that, you know?
Yeah.
It's like what Chad said. This Nadia bird, I know she is, and you know how much I don't really play Call of Duty. I've played it with you, what, 4 or 5 times?
Yeah.
But I know she is, and that is solely because the whole community says she's a fucking cheater.
Yeah, but she's playing on that to earn money from it, and she does it very well. Whether she's cheating or not, she literally plays on the fact that everyone thinks she's cheating, and she makes a shitload of money from it.
Yeah.
She literally earns a living from people thinking that she's a cheater. It's fucking clever. Whatever you say about her or whatever, I don't, you know, fucking controller noob. Whatever you say about her, or
It's tits.
you know, well, there you go. That's what Gin just to say. Do you know what I mean? The fact that she's clever, business minded, that she's literally making money off of the fact that people
Pissing
think she
people
cheats
off.
money, and she's not getting banned for it. You know, even if
if
she
you are-
is cheating, it's like the best bluff in the world.
If you are a streamer and you are cheating,
Mm-hmm.
it's obvious. People look at your play.
Yeah.
People
Yeah.
are watching you.
I mean, but then I watch, you know, where I have my monitor, my second monitor, which I'm looking at now, so you can see what I. So if I'm looking at my game screen, I'm looking like that, right? And then I'm always scanning chat, always, right? Because I've been shouted at so many times, or I've missed people's comments, and they've left the stream because I haven't answered them, and that fucking breaks my heart. Do you know what I mean? I'm constantly looking at chat. Maybe I should look to see if my webcam's off more often than not, but I don't. Now, what's to say that I haven't got ESP up on my monitor so I know where other players is? Yes, I haven't got aimbot. Yes, I haven't got a cheat that if I shoot someone, they constantly reload. Yes, I haven't got speed hacks. Yes, I can't float in the air. But if I know where that person is, especially in a game like Tarkov or even Call of Duty, if I know where that person is with that box around them, I've got an advantage on that person, right?
Can I say one thing, Lemire?
What?
If you're using cheats, you want a fucking refund.
Yes.
I'm terrible at video games. That's it.
Well, if you are playing with cheats enabled, whether it be aimbot, wall radars, anything, your play style, people will be able to see it. You'll be like, you were waiting at that door, or you came around that corner and started shooting straight away. How did you know that person was there?
Yeah.
There's a
Uh,
guy on
But
YouTube.
then I
He
watch a
does.
shitload of you Tarkov streamers, right? And these fuckers have all got in ears, right? Proper in ears, right? That cost them $3,000-$4,000, right? These in ears, it's ridiculous, right? Because the audio is so bad in that game that these streamers that rely on their income from Tarkov will spend their streaming money on buying these in ears in order so they can hear better and they can improve their gameplay, right? That's how dedicated these streamers are for this game, and that's fair enough. You know, if that's your bread and butter, that's what you sink your teeth into. But you can watch some of those guys, and what you could hear through your stream. Now, you could be listening to. They could have music on in their stream. They could have their audio quality might not be as turned up and boosted enough. You could be listening through your phone. You could be listening through headphones. You could be listening through whatever other means, right? And you might not hear what he hears with those really detailed and amazing earphones, right? And then he pre-fires a corner because he knows someone's coming, right? Does that mean that as someone that's watching it on their mobile phone is not picking up all those little audio cues? Does that mean that I automatically go, that guy's cheating? You don't. You go, that guy's a fucking boss. You know, GG's to that dude.
Yeah,
You know?
but at the same time, there'll be someone who is, if they're watching enough. So if they are a big streamer and there's enough people watching them, people will be able to
Shut
tell.
up, Bren. Yeah. No. But
It's
what I'm saying is, it's not impossible for a content creator to be a cheater. It's definitely not.
No.
And you can hide it very well.
To be fair, going back to when Call of Duty and all that first, the Call of Duty Modern Warfare, the original one, when that first hit big, do you ever remember the Turtle Beaches first being released? The Turtle Beach headsets, when they was first released, everyone complained about them. Half the community went and bought them, and the other half just sat there crying over it. Because you could hear someone reload a gun in like the next room. You knew someone was there.
So like having 3D sound, right, which work really good in some games and is terrible in other games, is that cheating? You know,
No.
Tarkov, when people were using filters, third party audio interfaces, so they could tune their audio through their headset, so they could hear better than the average Joe that just had the normal binary sound on, that, you know, the Steam audio that's been updated to the game. Is that cheating?
No, but it's
No.
pretty ridiculous.
I own
If you
want
to go down,
Astro A40s, right? Definitely not the worst headphones on the market. If anything, they're one of the best open back headphones on the market. To someone that's got a shitty pair of Turtle Beaches on, does that mean I'm cheating because I've got better hardware than him?
This comes down to if
It's
your
like,
internet's
it's
better,
tough,
or
isn't
that in some ways is just tough. Do you know what I mean? I agree with that, but it's down to perception. You know, everyone used to get called a cheater because they had fucking cheaty headsets.
Yeah.
You know, and things like that.
Yeah. I remember all that when I was a kid,
but-
younger, you know, on COD and that.
but regardless of your hardware,
Yeah,
you could say that about the fact that you've got a 4090 versus someone who's got.
exactly. Yeah, exactly. This is, yeah.
It's,
You know, how deep
it's,
do you go, dude? Like,
things like that are just that is the way, the nature of the beast.
yeah.
Whatever you're running it on. However, if you are running a program that gives you an unfair advantage,
Yeah.
specifically to make your aim better, to make there's no recoil, to give you red boxes around people so you know where they are.
They were just the normal workings of the game, normal
Yeah.
intended workings of the game.
Yeah,
I just want
then
to point out Marshall
that
need
is
Moses to make his own better. It's fucking horrendous.
He did more than that.
And- scrolling through reels on Facebook and YouTube, and you see people on Modern Warfare and people are calling him out saying, "So what's that red box around that player?" And they're like, "What red box?" As it suddenly goes off.
There is videos all over YouTube of streamers getting caught fucking cheating. It is ridiculous. CS:GO has got to be one of the worst for it. For an FPS game, CS:GO's definitely got to be one of the worst for it, if not Call of Duty.
There used to be a thing for EverQuest way back in the day. So if you were running your computer on, so it wasn't if you when you're connected, if you connected it through a hub rather than a switch. So it's slightly networky. A hub would broadcast packets of information across all the ports on that hub. A switch will only broadcast it to the one to its destination. So you could plug in another computer onto the hub, run this bit of software, and it would then read the position of all of the items, all the monsters within your zone.
All right.
Some of them are silly. Ren's got a point, you know.
Yeah.
He has.
What about consoles being on the same sort of playing field?
Yeah,
Yeah.
consoles would all. If you was playing on a console, other than having some kind of cheat installed or whatever, not,
But
you should really have no
I mean, yeah,
advantage.
our headsets are classed as hardware, right?
Yeah.
So this is the easiest way to sort of sum it up or category the like cheating, right? Is things like headsets, high refresh rate monitors, top GPUs, top CPUs, and all that sort of stuff. That's hardware, right?
Right.
So I think the main thing that's classed as cheating is software, right? So it's something that someone can obtain to be used within their hardware in order to give them an advantage. Does that make sense? So I think,
Yeah.
as much as a really decent set of in-ears and a high refresh rate monitor versus someone that's got a really shitty, one cup Turtle Beach headphone or whatever, is probably going to win a fight in a 1v1, not seeing each other at the same time, sort of jump scare, battle, Yeah, I mean, people with faster or slower internet speeds, you can't really think. I think the main thing is the software, right?
Right, the faster
I've
slow
got one
internet
for you.
speeds, that would depend on whether somebody's got a program to cause lag, wouldn't it?
But that's still software that makes that cause that lag, right?
But it's not something they're doing to the game, it's something they're doing to the machine on the other side of the game. So that technically, I believe
Yeah.
a DDoS.
Oh my fucking god! Who was that? Rich, you
Rex.
bitch! Oh, thank you for the biddies, my friend.
I
Jesus.
just put my pants.
Yeah, I literally just shit myself. Thank you.
I've got one for you, right? With the consoles, when I
Got
was
beans
in
as
the
well.
time I was playing Call of Duty, Battlefield, and all that kind of stuff, there was a thing come out called a Zim. I don't know whether you ever heard of them. And basically, it's a mini mouse and keyboard for a console.
Right,
So you
okay.
could have mouse and keyboard aim and movement on a console, and everyone hated it. I mean, everyone hated them because as much as hardware is one thing, but if you was to take like the mouse and keyboard and put you used to use a mouse and keyboard against a console like a controller, the person with a controller doesn't stand a chance. They honestly don't. I've seen people use them.
The average person on controller wouldn't stand a chance.
Well, that's why
It
they
is.
put aim snap and aim assist on controllers.
Yep.
Well, yes. Yeah, if you turned aim assist off of controllers and try to play a game, it's pretty much impossible to control it with your two thumbs without aim assist on. People don't realize how much it actually does for you.
It's when you pull the left trigger in it snaps to the chest.
It will do. It will do. It's just It's
GTA used to have a version of that auto aim, didn't
I
it?
mean, yeah,
Yep.
I mean, Brendan's
And the
just
funny
said,
thing is, if you use an Xbox controller on your PC and play GTA, it still works. It's still auto aimed.
I'll have to
Yeah, so
try that later.
people were plugging controllers in and then using keyboard mouse to actually play the game, and they were getting the benefits of it.
I'm trying
I
to
bet they've stopped that now,
find.
haven't they?
Yep.
Yeah. Also, what Brenda's just said, that people that purposely abuse the ping, they know how to abuse ping and packet loss and stuff like that. You know, is that
Yep.
class as cheating?
Yeah, of course.
You know, because I see a lot of streamers. You know, imagine if Run Gun was a streamer, right, and I played on his servers all the time, it would look like I was doing that because I would have high ping all the time. You know what I mean? Is that just not an innocent me playing with a friend that lives across the pond, or is it, or is you know some? I see loads of streamers with on high ping streams and things like that. They don't hide it; they just put it up there. You know?
Yeah. Let
The
me
way
just show you.
netcode is developed for most of the games now,
Yeah.
This is what I'm
it's
talking about. It looks something like that.
That's
And
Oh,
that's what I
What's-
hated about aim assist, Chad, was when you kind of want to get better, like Division 1 in the Dark Zone, used to always try and aim for heads, right? But it used to snap to their chest. When you were running Deadeye in the the one shot build in the Dark Zone, it was only one shot if you could get a headshot, right? Otherwise, it was two shots. And sometimes the aim assist, when you were shooting quickly, used to snap to their chest all the time, and it used to piss me the right off.
there was I can't remember what gun it was in Battlefield with a binary trigger, so it used to fire 2 shots. You would click,
Yeah,
it'll
definitely a
fire,
hindrance.
release, it'll fire again.
not even
And
a
Oh,
missile.
what's this? Is this thing? Right, let's show chat this.
I don't know whether it's exactly it, but it's very similar to it.
Okay.
And you used to basically click left, then click right, and it would headshot them twice. Pop, pop.
Jesus, that's cheap as well, right?
Yeah,
That is so cheap.
Well, yeah, because it's only half a keyboard.
it's very similar to that. Obviously, that's what seems to be a fairly cheap make.
So
But yeah,
one-handed gaming keyboard and mouse combo.
and the console players, it drove them fucking nuts because they could literally spin on the spot, perfect time.
Yeah.
Where you try and do that with a controller, mate, you end up looking at the ceiling.
The only thing that I ever had a problem with cheating wise was Cronus Max on console. I used to play on PS4. Now I don't really know what a Cronus Max is, but I'm gonna risk it and Google it.
Yeah, you might want to not show
Cronus.
everyone.
Why? So
Remember, Microsoft had something similar to that controller, and it was almost like a puck that was in your hand, and to move forward, you pushed the thing forward, but you could actually rotate it slightly as
Right.
well, so you could twist. I'm trying to find. It was part of the Microsoft SignRider.
I'm trying to work out what this is. So almost any controller on any console. Cronus Max. I know it used to make people shoot really fast. Aim assist strength, or you can turn the aim assist up. That's practically like having an aimbot. Right?
Yep. There's loads of like. You ever seen what is that company that makes him controllers?
Makes me angry, this sort of shit. This stuff's just openly on the fucking internet that anyone can buy at any time, right? And they've got games like fucking Call of Duty in there. You know, they're actually using gameplay from Call of Duty to advertise their product. Why are these game companies not closing this shit down? Fortnite, look.
Because technically the manufacturer's not doing anything wrong.
It's the users that use it, right?
It doesn't.
It pretty much makes you have zero recoil.
It auto corrects your recoil fire.
Yeah. But this is my point, right? This doesn't make you better at the game, right? Overall, it doesn't make you better because you turn it off, you just go back to being shit again.
Hold on, I think they've stopped doing it now.
What?
There was a company that used to make custom PlayStation and Xbox controllers, evil controllers, and they used to do them with
Oh, Rizzo!
rapid fire and fucking whatever functions and all that built into them.
That was designed to help people with hand problems play games. Just the nerds abuse the script. Yeah. That's the problem, you know? You have these aids to help people that, you know, are not on the same, you know what I mean? Can't use their hands properly or have a problem or an injury or something. And yet these other people just get hold of it and fuck it up.
Well, that's what the strategic commander, that Microsoft thing, have put in.
Yeah.
That came with a software interface that you could program to do pretty much
With
anything.
attached to it.
So you'd have all your commands already preloaded.
Ah, okay. Let me show the guys this. So already preloaded into this sort of like this Microsoft mouse thing, right?
But it's not actually a mouse. So the base on it is static.
Okay.
So the dark bit is static.
Yeah.
And then the top bit is almost like a joystick, but in your
Okay.
hand. So you push it forward and it'll move forward slightly, back, it'll move back. You can twist it left and right.
Yeah.
And that would then cause your character to actually to strafe.
Right.
To program all the
Okay.
buttons to do certain things. So effectively, what was one?
It's like an MMO mouse, basically.
Yeah, so you could fire, crouch, and jump all on the same key
All
press.
on the same key press. That's mad.
Yeah,
That'll be Grimzo's wet dream with his dolphin diving in COD, mate.
That evil controllers. That's the other thing they used to do, a drop shot function. So when you push the button, you drop to the ground and start shooting.
I mean, Grimzo will tell you, mate, the amount of times we used to get showstopper shotgun in the DZ with, you know, just like bang, 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 bang. Do you know what I mean? He's just dead. Just fucking. Well, you remember Division 1, right? How chicken dancey that game was because of the burst healing, right? You just be insta dead. Bang, bang, dead. Gone.
Which was the game that you
I never really looked it up.
You bound your fire to scroll up and down.
Oh God, right.
So you'd scroll down when you got to somebody, and it would register that quicker than multiple mouse presses.
Wow. Okay.
So it would just be like.
Oh my god!
That's mad.
And
Oh, Grim. He's just like just bought one.
Just one, you would need one for each hand.
I'll give you a shout out, Grim.
A guy used to play Unreal with that mouse, and yeah, it was absolutely ridiculous.
PTSD from that shit.
PTSD.
Yeah, mate. Honestly, right. I think mice with additional buttons were also considered a bit cheating, while they have started getting popular since you get more input. Again, you know, it's that hardware versus software, right? But it's the software within the hardware that lets you program those buttons. So I don't know. I use this mouse, right? This is the G502 Logitech gaming mouse, and the reason I use it is because I have a big button here. Oh, you can't see it. Big button here. I have. Let me just turn that up. See it. So I've got a big button here. Then I have the 2 side buttons, which you normally get on the normal mouse. So I have 3 buttons on the side here, and then I have a button here and a button here. These are all programmable, right? So when I'm playing Tarkov, for instance, I will have this button here will change my scopes. Instead of pressing Alt, fucking Shift, W, R, and Y, I can just change scopes with a single press of this, right? This is the whole reason I got this mouse, just for Tarkov, basically. We've obviously programmed these 2 buttons, and then whereas people would use Alt or something to free look, I can just hold this button down on my mouse, and I can free look in any game that's got free look in it. I'll always bind it to this one. So my finger never comes off the actual trigger. You know what I mean? And I can just free look and then straight back onto the trigger if I need to. And I suppose, to a certain extent, it does give me an advantage in certain situations. Is it cheating? Oh, I don't know.
Yes.
You know? Yeah,
So-
you got the exact same mouse. Nice.
I've got the wired one.
Game developers don't class that really as cheating.
Nah.
If you are binding keys to something.
It's like macros, right?
Now, macros is a different thing.
Like macros on your keyboard. I don't really know how they work. Do you know how they work, Garen?
Yeah.
Can you
So
give me a
if you
brief
look on-
idiot proof?
if you look on your keyboard now that you have in front of you,
Yeah. Which is, you know,
There-
what one I've got because you
Yep.
very kindly helped me buy this thing. Yeah.
so those G keys down the side,
Yep. G1.
You
Yep.
can-
To 5.
you can program them.
I've got
to
disabled,
do-
I think. But yeah.
Yeah, but you can program them to do a series of key presses,
Right. Okay.
a series of key presses with random delays in it, basically
Right,
to make it
okay.
look like it's not a bot that's pressing the keys. So if it's a certain key press that you have to do constantly, you can do it. You can write the macro to do it, or you can use the LUA scripting language to do a whole load of other stuff.
And literally you just hit one of those buttons.
Yeah.
That's mad. I'm just thinking, why don't I use those buttons to like play and stop my music and stuff for stream? So
Because you end
good.
up hitting them by accident.
Yeah, that's why I've got them turned off actually.
That's what your stream deck's for.
Have you ever
Yeah.
played World of Tanks?
No.
World of Tanks had an issue with bots.
Oh,
about 8
Kenny!
years ago, where
Uh-huh.
like Gavin said, somebody's obviously come in with macros, set it up so it starts the game.
Oh,
waits a
Victory was
set
telling me
amount of
about
time,
this. Yeah.
and it goes off across the map.
Mm.
World of Tanks, to the infinite wisdom, created a bot mode and modified it.
Right. Okay.
At which point, once there's a modified version, obviously the people are going to get the source for it eventually and modify it. So it's out of the track now.
It is mad. Like like it's like Rick said, you know, like the whole Cronus Max thing was firstly invented for people that were, you know, had problems gaming that wanted to game, you know, because it does take your hands, you know, especially on a controller, and then people just take the piss out of it. Bad.
Yeah,
Right.
it's just abuse.
I don't think.
Whether it's the game that's being abused or the hardware that's being abused, it's just abuse of the system, isn't it? Basically,
Yeah,
in one way or another.
Yeah, I remember because I was the console player. So Cronus Max was the biggest one for us, and then I used to, when I first started playing PC, I used to always hear macros, macros, macros in PvP games. Oh, that guy's macroed his thing, you know. And as much as he couldn't get banned for it or thingy, like everyone in that server would just think you're a piece of shit for using it. You know what I mean?
Because if they're set up rightly, I know this through doing the Battlefield 3 stuff,
Yeah.
you can actually fully control your recoil by holding the button down. You set it up
Right.
to a certain recoil pattern, you can literally just push the button and
It'll
click
just do
and
it. Yeah. And it'll make your guns fire faster. So like, you know, semi-auto on most games. I think Tarkov probably does it the best because it's actually like some games you'll click it, you'll be able to fire as fast as you can click, right? Because technically, if you're firing an actual firearm, depending on what firearm it is, if you're squeezing that trigger as fast as you can squeeze that trigger, the gun will go off as fast as you can scream that trigger, right?
Yeah.
So the problem is with semi-auto is obviously that there is like a maximum of how fast a human can click their mouse to make it fire that fast, you know? But with this Cronus Max, it used to override all that, and it used to just basically turn it into a machine gun, you know?
With to be fair, with Call of Duty and that coming to the end, well, coming to the end of when I was on the consoles, they got wires to the auto fire button that people had installed on controllers and whatnot. If your fire rate was a certain height with a certain, if your fire rate was say 700 rounds a minute with something, and it should only be 400 rounds a minute, they would ban you for it.
What's that,
Basically,
Gary?
that is like a very, very rudimentary script to basically go, right, that's no recoil.
Right. Fire gun,
So
movement.
you fire your
yeah.
gun, move the mouse to a certain point on screen, fire the gun again, move the mouse back, fire the gun again, move the mouse back.
Right. Okay. Okay. Yeah. The Sims Motherload.
Yeah, cash cheat. Used to give me
Right.
50 grand if I remember rightly.
Okay. Cheating in solo games. Yeah, yes, exactly what we spoke about earlier, Kenny. Yeah, definitely.
And I believe that
we've
actually
definitely
works in
agreed
all
with
Sims
that.
games.
Yeah. Okay. All right. So we've established there's aids, right? There's physical things that you can buy in order to give you an advantage. But I suppose what's actually classed as cheating from a game developer's point of view, right? Cronus Max and things like that are just fucking bugaboos. And yes, it's down to your personal opinion, right? Like whether they're cheats and communities hate them, communities use them, whatever, right? But the real meat and bone to it is these ones that you can buy off of third party websites that will give you aimbot, that will give you wall hacks, all that sort of stuff, right? That you actually pay physical money from. Now, Ginge was just telling me earlier, and I'm going to use EFT as an example because of the big controversy that's happened. Even if you're not an EFT player, if you're anything up with your gaming news, you'll know that there's been a big cheater influx and bans, waves, and all sorts of stuff because of one YouTube video about the state of the game, basically, in the cheating of Tarkov. Now, I've played Tarkov since when did I get my PC? 2019.
Last week.
So, well, my new one, yeah. So 2020. So nearly 3 years. So I've played about 6 or 7 wipes because the wipes are roughly every 6 months. Some of them are quicker, some of them a little bit later. But I've played solidly probably about 5 wipes. The last couple of wipes I haven't really played. Like solidly from start to end of the wipe. And I did notice in that time of starting back in 2020 to now, the game, as much as the game's grown, the cheaters has got worse and worse and worse. To the extent that the last couple of wipes, that has been one of the reasons why I haven't returned to the game. I've wanted to make content on it. I've wanted to, stream it. I did stream it for a little bit. My old computer just couldn't fucking handle it. Game's so badly optimized. But I did notice that there was definitely a fundamental problem within the community of cheaters, right? So, and I am shit, Ginger. So, problem is with it is a lot of people just buried their head in the sand because they loved the game so much and was like, ah, there's no problems. You got these big streamers, and I mean these big iconic streamers, right? That are making hundreds of thousands of pounds, dollars, whatever a year because of that game, right? their stream. That's what they're sort of taking in. They have all these like extra perks from BSG and stuff, as in like they can contact them directly to get things sorted, to give feedback and that sort of stuff. So it's not perks as in like in-game stuff. They used to back in the day. They used to give streamers in-game shit like the best ammo, the best loads of money, and all that sort of shit, so they can advertise their game. It's a rough game to play. You know, it takes a lot of time and effort to get to the top, the meta. And these guys just weren't talking about it. They were not talking about it. They were just, you know, this is my bread and butter. This is where I'm earning all my money. You know, there's even clips of people out there. People have made compilation videos of streamers getting killed by cheaters, and then the streamers swearing blind that he wasn't cheating. When even the average Joe that doesn't game could see that there was something wrong there. You know, and
It's the
obviously.
old, don't bite the hand that feeds you.
Exactly, and that's what I'm trying to say. You know, these guys are making their money from the game. If the game dies, so does their revenue, so does their career. Okay? That's why sometimes it's really dangerous to put your eggs in all in one basket, and it's very difficult to put your eggs in loads of baskets.
Your mum likes
We're
eggs.
going to prove that wrong on this.
As long as they're
channel.
not fertilized.
Yeah, as long as they're not fertilized. Yeah, leave them
Not
alone.
her.
So basically, my point is that it all came out that there was a massive problem. Quite a well-known, respected Tarkov streamer / content creator made a video, and what he did is he actually went on to various Discord servers and bits and bobs, and he bought cheats. Right, so he created a new account and he bought the cheats. Now he had a couple of rules. Again, to me, the geezer was so fed up with the fact that his revenue stream was going to be, and also I think he was protecting his revenue stream as well, but so fed up with the state of the game and the fact that it's going to affect his revenue stream, he actually created a separate account, disguised his voice, bought cheats, and then gave himself some rules. So he wasn't allowed to kill anyone with the cheat. He wasn't allowed to tell anyone or let anyone find out that it was him. You know, it was this content creator doing it. So basically, he was undercover cheater. That's how he spun it. The fact of the matter is, the guy went on a website, bought some cheats, and cheated. You know, for science. So I think people did have an idea of how bad it was, but people just turned a blind eye to it, right? So obviously, he made the video, it went viral. All the other streamers then piped up because they're like, phew. You can imagine them sat there in their chairs going, I'm so glad someone else has done this. You know what I mean? So I'm not hurting my revenue stream, or I'm not hurting my stream. And they all jumped on the bandwagon, which then, when that happens, it blows up everywhere. Reddit, forums, everything, right? So now it's forced the game developing company, to focus on a solution, right? It's forced change, and it has. Whether you agree with the way the guy did it, or whether you don't. And by the way, his account that he used for the cheats was banned. But his main account, even though they know it's him, has not been banned. Right? When it clearly says in their policies and procedures, any
linked
person
accounts,
and linked accounts will be terminated, and it didn't happen. Right?
I think it's because he's done it in such a way.
It's very clever.
Yeah, he was highlighting the problem.
Yeah, I mean, in my eyes, cheating's still cheating, right?
Yeah.
Regardless of whether you're highlighting or not, cheating is still cheating. I could never stoop to that level. But
at the end of the day, it's their rules to interpret.
Well, it's exactly the same as like thumbnails, right? Technically, if I use a thumbnail from Escape from Tarkov, right, on a YouTube video, technically PSG could tell me to that's Battlestar Games. That's the game. The guys that make Tarkov, just users that don't know, they could tell me to take that thumbnail down, or even possibly take legal action for using an image in their game as a commercial use. Does that make sense?
There's also a thing called free use, though.
There is, but So that's how kind of intricate some of these rules go. So everyone's like, oh, he didn't get his account banned because he's a streamer. Regardless of that, he bought like the wiggle, like Ren said earlier, the Tarkov wiggle. He bought so many things to light. And for me, watching that video, I knew it was a bad thing. And you know, I report cheaters when I come across them in Tarkov. There's not really much else I can do. I don't really have any influence apart from submitting detailed bug reports every time I get, someone cheats or I think someone's cheated. You know, that's the only thing we can do as consumers, the average consumers, really.
Right.
So,
Okay. I got one for you.
go on then.
So when okay, the companies or the game devs or whatever don't seem like they do enough to prevent it. But how often do you think they get false flags from people
Oh
that
yeah,
is butter?
100%, mate, 100%, 100%. And this is the point where I was going with it, right? So, as much as it was amazing that this guy had highlighted the problem within Tarkov, and then like 2,000 people have been banned over the weekend, la 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 la, and all these other stuff have been implemented. You know, they've come out and their first statement was copy and paste from 3 years ago. But for me personally, I think Tarkov is a very unique game. I think that they had a clear roadmap on where they wanted the game and when they wanted to release it. The problem is they did these Twitch drops with Tarkov. You had people like Shroud and other big streamers that are already established within the streaming industry that started playing this game because it was brand new, right? And don't get me wrong, BSG probably reached out to Shroud and went, "This game's going to be, it's nothing you've ever played before. First
Yeah,
person
yeah, yeah.
shooter, give it a go." And he did. And that's how I first ever noticed Tarkov, was watching a YouTube video that Shroud made about it before it had even come out. This was back in 2016, 17, right? So basically, Tarkov, they were one of the first games to introduce Twitch drops in the manner it did. You know, the kind of loot that you got, the nature of the game, and it just literally went right. It For 2 years, it was just an average game that had a really niche kind of player base. It was always growing, but it hit that Twitch drop thing, and it just went bang, right, and it exploded, right. So ever since then, with their really dodgy buy this version to unlock this many slots sort of shit, right? People were buying so many accounts, it grew in popularity so fast that instead of developing the game, BSG were constantly firefighting, right? So this servers unstable, not enough servers, players waiting for hours to get into raids, and I'm talking literal hours to get into one raid, be headshot by a scab within 2 minutes, and back to the lobby again or whatever, right? They had all these issues because they just didn't impact. They didn't think about the how quick the game was going to blow up, right? So they didn't have a very good anti-cheat system in place because there was just these sort of hardcore niche players that were testing the game for them, right? And quite frankly, back then, no one could afford 120, 30, 40 quid for the game, you know? And then it blew up. And then from ever since then, they've just been trying to firefight. Let's get stable servers. Let's get this. Shit, we've got so many players now. We need to add content in the game. And it's just been a bunch of half-assed updates. And I don't think
bad planning.
Yeah, exactly. Now, I personally think that they had like a 10-year plan of this is where we're going to get to. This is where we're going to get to. We're going to build up the hype. And then when we release the game, that's when we'll hit our peak. And then we're going to go off and make something else. But it didn't. It went bang, pretty much instantly. Shit. We haven't got the team. We haven't got the infrastructure. We haven't got the know-how. We haven't got this. We haven't got that. Now, I'm just speculating here, obviously, on my own thoughts. But common sense tells you that that could be a very possible theory, right? Now, obviously, where I was going with this whole thing was that a game that popular, right, then suddenly turned into a kind of cheaters wet dream, let's say, right? Because how the model is, right, is you have a company that sells cheats to players. Yeah. These players are buying these cheats, right? They're using these cheats, but they're using these cheats to make money. Okay. Now, let me explain to you why this is the thing, right? So there's a thing of, I forget the shortened version, but basically, people can pay to get the best loot in the game or to get a certain item. Yeah. So what?
Carried.
Yes, yeah, it basically carries, right? So what a player would do with these cheats is they would hook up with a guy that plays them $5 over the internet to carry him through a certain map to get a quest done or to get a quest item or whatever. It doesn't matter what it is, loot, whatever, right? So they pay real currency for these guys that are cheating to take them through there, get their quest done because they're having a hard time doing it. They can't do it. It's too hard. Ego gets in gets fucking shrunken down to nothing, and they feel like they have to do it. But in their head, because they're paying real life money for it, they're not cheating. They're not the ones using the cheat, so it's okay, right? So that was happening. So that in itself turned into pretty much an industry within a game. Does that make sense, lads? You know what I mean? Like RMTs, that's what it's called. Real money transactions, yeah? So it actually turned into a little bit of an industry. Now, what would happen is these RMTers would get banned eventually. BattleEye would catch on, BSG would catch on. They'd get reported so many times, their account would get flagged and they'd get banned. But then what they do is they'd buy another account. Okay. So the RMTers that are buying the cheats, right, are spending money, right? But then they're making money from using the cheats. Then their account's getting banned. They're spending more money. But then the company that makes the game is profiting off of cheaters. Does that make
Yeah,
sense?
so why would they go out of their way to stop it?
Now, obviously, no company is going to sit there and go, we're doing this on purpose so we can make more money, right? No one's going
Of
to do
course
that,
not.
right? No one's going to do that. But Rage, you don't even play EFT, and I've just explained that in Mad Marsh terms, which is not the best. And straight away, your first thing is, why would you want to stop that? You're making money.
No, but it makes sense. It's a game that once you like many games, once you've bought the premium package or whatever, past that there is no real expenditure for, right?
No, there's nothing. No. Yeah.
So you actually make you can't. It ain't like one of these
No,
microtransaction
it's nothing
whatever.
like that in the game. No. Yeah.
So once you've paid your money, you paid your money,
Yes.
right?
Yeah.
So if your account then gets banned and you would then have to pay another 80 euros or whatever it is, stupid money that people paid for it,
Yeah.
why would they care?
Exactly.
Especially if they've got people at the back door selling the cheats anyway.
Well, and again, that is literally just speculation, but it wouldn't surprise me if the first kind of cheats.
Russian company, isn't it?
It was
It's a
explained
Russian.
to me.
It's Russian stuff, and it's registered in the
Russian
UK.
company.
It's registered in the
They're
UK,
crap.
but it's actually
But
a
because
Russian company.
Yeah, it's Russian. No
Just
comment.
It was
tax dodge or
explained to
whatever.
me that these cheats or these cheap websites is saying this shit don't just happen by accident.
I don't think it
Of course
does.
not. Somebody needs to
Someone
have known the
needs to
code
know.
first.
Someone needs to know how the fucking game works to manipulate it to start with. Whether it's an ex-employee, whether it's someone still employed by them or whatever, not.
And I
These
think
people know.
we're just looking at Tarkov as because it's been in the news recently, right? And it's a game that I love and I play quite a bit, so I know quite a lot about
Oh
it.
God!
But I think
whenever
you're
I
onto
think
a point, Rage. It's across the whole gaming industry. It is an industry within itself, cheating. Isn't it?
Whenever I think of cheating, especially FPS games, the likes of Call of Duty, what's the other one? CS:GO and whatever. these are always the first ones that come to mind.
Yeah.
Always.
Yep.
Because the industry for them is ridiculous.
Also, yeah,
And
it
like
is.
you said, there's people like a CSGO. We had this conversation the other day about how expensive the skins are. You know, if you can run around, if you do it the grindy way, if you run around headshotting loads of people and whatever, finishing winning all your matches and all that shit by cheating, and then unlocking crates and whatever at the end of it or whatever,
Getting that really rare skin
and then selling the
selling
skins
it.
on,
Yeah.
the cheats are not actually
That's
fucking
basically
cost you
RMT
anything.
again.
Neither's the game.
Yeah, exactly. And this is exactly the same model that has been and still is being used in Tarkov.
Yeah.
Again, I've got to say speculation.
And they're
More
never going to
YouTube
get
stuff.
rid of it. They're never ever going to get rid of it. There
know,
used to
but
be.
the beautiful thing about this YouTube video is it has actually made them put action in, because they're going to lose. They are obviously earn more revenue through new players joining than cheaters. You know, cheaters are going to buy the cheapest account they can afford, right? Because in fear of it being banned within a day, within a week, within a month, within a year. Yeah. Whereas a new player that loves the game might spend that extra $50 or whatever on the next edition up, or the max edition, whatever. You know? So they've kind of been forced to do something about it.
The minute things start to hit the bottom line, they will do something about it.
Yeah, I think that's what's happened in that case. But Rage is right. Call of Duty, that sort of stuff. I mean, I would. It probably is somewhere, but how many people do you think they ban a day? You know, you've got it across all platforms. So you've got console and PC. You know, I mean, there's probably way more console players in the world than there is PC players in the world. Okay, for the different platforms.
Probably.
You know, and the fact it's easier. It's a 500. You know, nowadays you pay 500 quid for a console and you just plug it in and play. Everyone's got a TV.
Marsh, I'm going to send you something. I'd rather you didn't put it up on the stream, because if
Okay.
people start clicking and going to it, it would just look bad. But these places exist.
Yeah, I didn't want to show any of this sort of stuff on
No,
stream.
don't.
I don't want to agree with any of this shit either. Projectile. Okay.
Try just reloading it.
Yeah, I just don't want my cookies knowing that I've been on this site. That's all.
Your cookies are stored on your machine, not theirs.
Huh?
Your cookies are stored on your machine, not theirs.
Yeah, exactly.
So
That's why I
if
don't
you
wanna
look
know.
at this, you've got Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2, paid service.
Yeah.
You see it?
Yeah, I can see it.
So obviously someone's not really clamping down, no?
No, well, it's the same as I suppose you could have said it was the same about the Division shit. Remember that well-known streamer within Division advertising basically RMTs
Mate,
within,
that
you
geezer.
know, buy the Eagle Bearer, you know, get the Eagle Bearer and stuff. You know?
But I just want to point out, right, for chat, what we're looking at is a forum offering basically paid services, so you can go and unlock stuff on Modern Warfare, GTA, that kind of stuff.
But
There
you can
is
guarantee that
2,120 pages of paid services that you can choose from.
and that's multiple things on each page, right?
Yep.
That's not just 2,000 things you can do. That's multiple people on one page, and there's 2,000 pages.
So it goes back to the actual coding of the game. A majority of multiplayer games will have a very, very similar net code on how it communicates. And the people that are writing these are very, very competent programmers.
Yeah.
So it doesn't take long to work out, to watch packets going back and forwards across a network and go, right, that's what the update for player moving from there to there is. That's the position in the game world. That's what they're doing. That's when they're firing. And then they create the cheat on that.
People can read this all through data, right?
Yeah, they know how to
They're getting
decode.
it. Yeah.
It's alarming, isn't it?
It is alarming. It is alarming.
But at the same time, the game companies are buying these themselves.
Yeah.
And going, right, this is how they're doing it.
And also, just to follow up on the guy that did the Tarkov video, he did a video the other day, and it was "I Was Hacked." I think was the title of it. It's in the Discord if anyone wants to watch it. But basically, the company that was supplying, obviously, they found out that it was him. It was a content creator, and they found out who it was, and they found out why he did the video. The fact that he'd pretty much told people where he'd got the cheats from. They did
chuck their name into the
no.
light, as it were.
Yeah. They basically did. I forget what he called it. He called it something like a thermal raise or a nuke or something, where basically the hackers made his RAM, his M2 drives overheat and melt. Right, so that guy can never use those M2 drives again. They're gone forever. And that was the hackers that did that.
I'd question that.
So what actually?
That's literally what he said.
To be fair,
I'm going to find the video now.
To be fair, I just want to point out, if you're going onto a website to buy shit off a hacker, the last thing you really want to do is piss him off.
Yeah,
Bearing
exactly.
in mind
And
what he's already capable of. So in some ways, the geezer's a fucking idiot.
I mean, you guys know, I know, you guys know how hard it is for some people to buy these computers, right?
Oh,
To
of course.
actually, people work their fucking socks off, to be able to get their computers, right? And it is like some people like the flashy ones with the lights, the custom cases, and this is mine, this is mine. Do you imagine being stupid enough to buy a cheat and then your whole thing that you've saved and bought for is under, can be hacked and destroyed because you bought cheats? It blows my mind.
Right, the thing is, he must have still had the program on his machine. 99.9% of routers these days block most shit at the door.
Yeah.
Oh no. It's just if you knew some dude couldn't be trusted with kids, you wouldn't ask him to look after your kids. Do you know what I mean? It's that kind of shit is really simple. You don't go to a hacker and then piss him off because there's a good chance you're going to get hacked.
Especially if you leave the software on your machine.
Fucking dickhead.
You can't park
You
there,
can't
lad.
park there, lad. Right, this is the video. Let me
Motion
just
Array
find
is
the right
quickest
bit.
way to make your content look amazing.
Yeah. Get it up on the screen in a second. I just want to find the bit. It's actually a really good video, chat. It's actually really worth checking out, just for education on what some game companies are doing to tackle cheaters.
No fairness, they can't be doing too much.
Because he's just
No,
always
it's
available.
like
if you've got
a
a
game
question
that
or
I'm
you've got
actually
a problem,
gonna.
you can ping him a message and have a conversation, and
Yes.
as Andrew said,
This is the
Disease prevention.
so this
What do
is
you think?
how they explain kind of how it works, right?
Important initiatives that I've laid out for you to.
For lobbies for legit players with a proven cheaters.
So-
and even when you get killed by
He
a
actually
cheater, you
put
get
the
a cheater
hacker's fucking
compensation
face on
package.
the.
Yeah, this game, right? This game, what's it called? The free-to-play game that we played on the channel for quite a while, and then we just got sick of it because of the cheaters. the Cycle Frontier, right? The Cycle Frontier have practically eradicated cheaters from their game. Right? It's taken them about a year, but they've pretty much eradicated cheating. And that game was fucking rife. That was worse than Tarkov. But it was free to play, so no one give a fuck. You know, everyone just stopped playing it and went back to Tarkov, basically. You know what I mean? And they've eradicated it. So this video actually explains how they eradicated it. So it's actually worth a watch. In fact, I can link it in the chat. You want to go and watch it. But
The one that we integrate.
and he
also
explains
highlights,
well how he does
people that
it.
use
Cheese.
So
because you got one thing wrong, it happens because you got multiple. So if we can stop these people at any one level, we can cut the problem significantly.
Matt told me this multi-layered approach is called the Swiss cheese model. If the red arrows are cheats, having as many layers with the smallest holes is the best approach. This concept is used in all sorts of fields, including disease prevention. What do you think is the biggest motivator of
there we go.
guys who
So
are
the
looking
more
for
layers of
cheats right
protection
now?
these game developers
Things
have,
like RMT are always
less-
an issue in games like this.
the less they're going to get, you know, cheats on. But I just want to get to this bit where he says that he was actually hacked. But this is a really interesting video. It's quite informative. Again, this guy knows what he's doing. He's a very good entertainer.
It's a long road to walk.
I can't help but compare your roadmap and for interviews. I don't think there's anything to learn.
Just not very smart.
Oh, he's very smart, mate. I mean, the money he must have made off of that Tarkov video, from a business point of view.
I think you can see where this is going. There's a nasty thing called a rootkit.
Here we go.
I did several stupid things. Anyone in my
I've got to turn it up now.
No, I'll turn it up.
who made the cheat I used in my video. They had previously said they were open to chatting with me, and I only wanted one thing from them. I wanted some audio of them being cocky and bragging about how their cheat hasn't been detected 3 years. I challenged anyone in my Discord to find any evidence of detection or mass band waves related to the cheat I used, and nobody could come up with anything. I still wanted to get a few sound bites from the cheat distributor. I reached out to them and identified myself, and here's where I did a stupid thing. Well, I did several stupid things. My first stupid thing was installing cheats on my computer. My second failure was not wiping my entire computer and reinstalling Windows after using cheats. I think you can see where this is going. There's a nasty thing called a rootkit, and when you give cheat devs access to your computer, they can install malicious software that lives within the operating system. It's very difficult to detect, and they can steal information to sell to third parties. You see, cheats require you to basically turn off all forms of antivirus protection to work. And then they gain access to the core of your computer's operating system, and they generally have complete control over everything, if they want. And several people told me to wipe my drives and reinstall Windows, and I was going to do that, but I didn't do it quickly enough. But even if my computer was compromised, they didn't really know which user was me. They have so many clients, I doubt they were able to figure out who I was. And that's where I made a final mistake. I attempted to get into contact with the cheat devs, their Discord server, which only recently added a specialized verification bot, noticed I was logged in from the same location with a different account and flagged me as a secondary account. This gave them the necessary info to figure out more than just who I was, but what account I had with them. They messaged me and asked me to, quote, stop trying to get verified. And later that day, my computer wouldn't boot up. They did what's called a boot nuke. They fried 3 of my hard drives, all M2.0 drives, all inaccessible and gone. NVMe drivers are very reliable, and these drives were purchased in the last 3 months. They aren't even the same make or model and showed no signs of failure previously. It's reasonable to assume that they were able to mess with the drivers and render the NVMe drives useless. In any case, I tossed them in the trash, and I'm up and running again. BSG has a long list of things they need to do to fight cheaters. It's not just detection.
There we go. That's scary to me. Good night, Beans. Thank you, lovely. You guys hear me all right?
Yeah.
No.
Now,
First of all, they didn't hack his computer. You left software on there. They already had access to it.
yeah, I mean, look,
Second of all, it's not just cheats that do that. If you run mods for certain games, it'll run an SD kit to allow you to actually run the mods. If you're stupid enough not to keep track of it, then I'm sorry, he's a muppet. Third point, you don't have to fry his drives. I can get into your machine now, Mosh, if assuming you've been stupid enough to give me access like that. All I need to do is format your drive to something it's not supposed to be without
Yeah.
system files, and it's fucked. You can't format it back.
I know. But the point is, right? Point is why take the risk? You know, if this is true, this has happened. You know,
Why
like
take the risk of what?
yeah, exactly. Why take the risk of cheating?
Ego.
This is where
Pride.
this is where we're coming to the nitty gritty now. Do you know what I mean?
Like I said to you earlier, how many people flag up the cheaters and it's not necessarily the case because they got fucking
Destroyed or whatever, or desync.
Yeah.
You know, it happens in games. Tarkov's one of the worst for it. You can't tell if people are cheating or you just got a bad case of desync. You know what I mean?
So they put up with this for 6 months, and like I said, it's you can't beat them. These fuckers ain't getting caught for it, so why can't I?
Yeah, I think the main problem and what I've taken from this discussion is that it's an industry, it's money, right? And it's incredibly difficult to close something down or to completely eradicate something when it's so profitable.
It's
Do you know what I mean?
it's not even that. It's just so accessible now.
Like, could you imagine, right, someone or something or a group, whatever, trying to close Microsoft now? It'd be impossible.
It'd have
You
to
know,
be a
for
fucking good
instance,
group to close.
yeah, do you know what I mean? Like, with the amount of money and resources that company, that corporation has, it will fend off anything, pretty much.
you
Yeah, and I think
if
that's the
the only
same with
ones that
gaming.
might do it is anonymous.
Well, yeah,
They're probably about the only ones that could shut them down. But it'd only be a temporary thing.
exactly. And I think that's the same with gaming. You know, the big news the other day, loads of Tarkov streamers put out that one of the main cheat suppliers for Tarkov, CSGO, all sorts of these other games, right, was closed down by the Chinese government. So obviously agents found out where the farm was and they closed it down. You know,
But
No, they closed down one site. They didn't
one
close
site
it down.
exactly. Yeah. So
But-
the whole company's not destroyed, but that one site. I mean, don't get me wrong. That's going to have a big impact on the the amount of people that were controlled from that area. Will have a huge impact in certain games and certain areas of the world, I'm sure. But
I disagree. If they haven't got at least 2 or 3 backups in the area under different people's names or different
I mean, they
companies,
probably have, mate.
then they
Yeah.
haven't thought it probably.
Yeah, they probably have.
But did this happen in China more so because the way China views gaming and whatnot? Because a lot of the
Exactly.
a lot of the Asian countries, China, whatever, Korea, and all that kind of stuff, they teach kids gaming now. You know, it's part. It's not something like when we was growing up. It's like get off the fucking computer, go outside or whatever. Now it is like a thing. Do you know?
Yeah.
These kids learn how to play these MMO games and whatever, and everyone's happy for them because they go on to make money, go into
I
tournaments
also
and
think
things like
that
that.
they're restricted on what genres of games that they can actually play and what games they can actually play. Right? They're quite. I think it's quite
I don't know.
restrictive as a whole. You know, and like I know for a fact they're not allowed to. They weren't allowed to listen to that. You know, anything with expression outside of their views and stuff. But anyway, that's a
All that
completely,
means is
completely
you've got
different.
a rife black market.
That's a completely different.
I-
Yeah,
I was-
exactly, right.
that-
And that's what that
I would have said that
encourages.
sounds more like Korea, to be honest
It's
with
the
you.
same.
But
It's the same with drugs and stuff, you know, as well. You know, exactly the same sort of situation. You know, if you've got something that's illegal, it creates
Demand.
a venue and a demand to make revenue, right? And it's exactly the same with cheating, right? It's not allowed. It creates demand, right? one of the things I want to bring up and I want to say, right, is I constantly get this through, and it's not with you guys, it's not with the community as we've got now as a whole, but random people or conversations I have with colleagues, friends, whatever, are like, oh, that battle eye shit, you know, that shit, that cheat company's shit, right? Now, I've tried to educate myself a little bit into this because I was constantly hearing this, and I was like, that's just a lazy way to think about it, right? There must be more to it than just blaming the company. You know, why do these big games use this anti cheat if it's shit? You know, it doesn't make sense. It didn't make sense to me. You know,
Hmm.
so I did a little bit more research into it, and that when I say research, I mean, you know, watching YouTube videos, how anti cheat works, la la la. And basically, the gist I got from it is that the anti cheat, say for Battle Life, for instance, that is a tool, right?
Yeah.
Now it's down to the developers and BattlEye, for instance. We're just using BattlEye because you know it's a common one to work together to incorporate that tool as best as you can, right? So the easiest way to describe it, that is like a plumber that has never used a wrench before. Do you know what I mean? Getting a wrench and try to undo or do up a bolt, right? It's going to take him a while to figure it out, yeah. Or you've got someone that's very competent that knows the tool and can then teach the developer or the plumber to use the wrench properly. So when that plumber goes out into the world on his own, he can then tighten up people's sinks and shit. Right? That's a really shit analogy, but I hope that kind of makes sense of my point. Is that sometimes, or most of the time, I don't believe it is these anti-cheat software companies that are the issue. It's the knowledge from the game developers in how to incorporate and code into that sort of cheat software, right? And like the Cycle Frontier, it said in that video. If you guys go and watch that video, one of the ways they eradicated cheaters is, yes, they put layers of protection in. They had BattlEye, they had their own anti-cheat, they had another company which they don't mention in that video. They got like 3 different layers of protection. They changed some code. They did this. They did that. They were doing fucking not hardware bans, but like account bans if your account wasn't verified on Steam, or it didn't have so many days on it, or so many purchases or whatever. You're like, no, you're not fucking downloading and playing our game, sort of thing. This could be a fake account or whatever. But also, the main thing they did is they dedicated a team to sorting out the problem. They actually employed people from that they would never have employed if they didn't have cheaters, just to focus on that problem. And they have pretty much eradicated cheaters from the game. Now, they're still cheaters, but there are things that players get. So if players report cheaters and the cheater gets caught and it was an actual cheat, they get their gear back, right? In these looter shooter games, obviously that's important. People have gear fear and shit like that. They get their gear back, and they also get an email confirmation or some sort of confirmation saying, thank you for your report, la la la, so and so, or this name, this IP has been banned. How good is that?
Yeah, but the IP side of it, I don't understand. Because if you change internet provider, you end up with a new IP anyway. Or you can just fucking bounce it off the walls and end up with a new one.
Yeah, I mean,
Do you know what I
people
mean?
are always going to get around it if they want to get around it, right?
When we was doing the Battlefield stuff, I'm not sure what anti-cheat they used to use, but what they started to do was ban GPUs.
Yeah,
Who wants to risk their brand new graphics card?
exactly that. Oh no, I wouldn't fucking press this. You know what I mean?
They
But then
said,
again, there was
they
that
started
issue.
to ban the serial or the GPU or the CPU. I can't remember exactly what way round it was,
Well, I remember
but
the motherboard one that backfired because some motherboards were coming up and people were getting falsely banned in Tarkov and not doing anything wrong. Just because there was a batch of motherboards that were certain make, certain type that didn't
they give
like.
them all the same serial number.
Yeah, didn't like the whatever technology they were using to root out who was cheating and who wasn't cheating. I think. And yeah,
But
so it can backfire,
again,
I guess. But again, yeah, you're right. Who's gonna want to, a Steam account? Anyone they can just set up a new Steam account. But what I'm saying
yeah,
is they
but
dedicated
even your
brains
Steam
to
account,
work it out. You know
you know what my Steam account's worth. You know what Ginger's is worth. And
exactly.
I
Why are you
shit
gonna
you
risk that?
not, I can guarantee Jack's is worth a fuck ton more than neither of ours.
Yeah,
Why, in that sense, you wouldn't risk it. You know,
yeah.
yeah, even that, I can't afford. I couldn't afford to risk that.
No, no. But then, like we're discussing, like the industry side of it, these RMTers that are making so much, it's just a penny in the water for them. You know? I mean, I think it's such a lucrative market, and until it's constant, it's right. I think at the moment it's going to be just one of those things where it's constant firefighting, right? The developers and the anti cheaters are going to come up with all this new stuff. Then the hackers are going to work out a way of getting in that, and they're going to do another layer of protection. Then the hackers are going to work that out. They're going to have different ways of banning things, and then they're going to work a way around that, and it's just going to continue
It's
unless
crazy.
something
The
crazy happens.
the bit I find really hard, especially with games like Call of Duty and this, that, and the other, as we was just reading on that, so I read on that site, these people have open lobbies well, closed off lobbies that they invite people to.
Yep.
So there's no other players in them. So
Yep.
they've actually got control over what is basically a server
Yep.
in Call of Duty.
Yep.
And they bring people in, whatever it is they're going to do, and then kick them out. After once they've paid or whatever, they bring them in, do whatever, and then boot them out.
Yep.
So the bit I don't understand is how has someone got a constant fucking control over what is technically an official server?
Well, I mean,
It makes no sense.
Well, this is where the cheats come in, right? So, for instance, I don't know COD that well, but Escape from Tarkov is exactly the same thing, right? You invite them to a party and then you join a raid. You could have up to 8 to I don't know 17, 18 different players in this raid. If you've got a cheat and no one else has got a cheat, and you've got aimbot, any players that you come against and you know where they are on the map, any players you come up against, you can just kill them. So in hindsight, you have a private server to yourself, as long as you don't get killed.
Yeah, but what I'm saying to you is, for you as a person to unlock, I don't know, say, get to level whatever in DMZ,
Yeah,
right? So for you to do that, you need to obtain points.
yeah,
You don't
XP.
obtain points just by joining someone else's
No,
game. So you obviously need to
it's all shared
either
XP and stuff like that, isn't it? So these hackers will run around and kill everything, and you're getting all the XP for it for doing fuck all.
yeah, but it's only shared XP. How long? What I'm saying is division. We all know this really well. If you kill something, I get like fucking 10 points or whatever 10 points XP or whatever's blah blah blah.
Yeah.
But it's not efficient. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So how long would you have to play, have me in the lobby with you, or in your party or whatever not, for me to go from level 1 to 100, argument's sake? It would take fucking forever. So
Yeah.
surely they at that point have control over the complete server, so they can just give you fucking XP. Otherwise, it wouldn't be worth doing. Surely
Does
you'd end up
Starcraft not
spending.
have XP
But it
boosters?
also depends. Again, it also depends on what these guys are offering. Would they offer that service because it will take so long? And I'm not being funny, but if you're going to pay me, I don't know, 500 quid, I'm sitting there all day farming XP. If I'm getting paid that amount of money. Do you know what I mean? Like,
Haha.
it all depends what these services are. And personally, me, I've never looked into anything like that. You know, I thought about doing a little bit of research for this, but then honestly, I don't really want to be searching.
Okay, I'll do it instead then. One
don't-
site, first one I've looked at.
I don't really
Polls.
want to searching cheats up on my computer, to be honest with you.
Holds 41 games full of cheats.
Yeah.
Current total number of members just for Tarkov, 335,177. And they
That's the whole
banned
fucking
Hold on.
community.
and they banned no, there's 1.4 million average at the minute. And they banned 4K. So there's nearly 400K cheaters
Yeah.
on this one site, and they banned 4K.
Yeah.
Not enough.
Mad.
Nice.
It's literally mad. Yes, mate.
Have you just got a ping in your messages
From Lear.
on Discord? Yeah.
Yeah, I'm trying not to look at it because I get excited. Look at it.
And the only thing I'll say is a
Yeah.
basic package for 24 hours is $6.90. For 7 days is $34.90. For 30 days is $69.90.
Not cheap, is it?
I can't afford a fucking cheat,
Not cheap, is it? And to keep it up as well.
which means they've got to be making money out of it somehow.
Exactly. And that's unfortunately with games like Tarkov, Cycle Frontier, these loot-based extraction shooters, it is rife with RMTers, right? And that's how they make their money. You know, it's just lucrative with it. I mean, if you look at that Patrick Wolf shit, that when he put that shit on there, I don't care. I'm going to name the twat. I don't like him. Whatever. When he was advertising that service on Division 2 that you could get an Eagle Bearer, right? So you'd have to
get what exotic you want.
Yeah, exactly. So you'd have to give your account to someone, and then 8 fucking, I don't know, spotty motherfucking blokes sat in their bedroom would all play the raid until they got the Eagle Bearer for that character. Because you think about it, again, that could take 1 raid. It could take 4 raids. Yo, welcome back, Beans. Do you know what I mean? So, you know, but it was like $200, 140 quid for a fucking exotic in a game.
See, in all fairness, I think Patrick Wolf should have been banned straight away.
He should have.
Permanently from Ubisoft.
100%. He should have been banned. Gone.
Because he's already.
But he's got too much influence. He's got too much influence. This is the problem. This is the problem. Too much influence.
I'd have banned him.
Yeah. Well, I'm sure that discussion was had, but as you know, Division 2's been on its ass for a long time. You know what I mean? Hence why they didn't step in with any of the speedrunning shit. You know, because like we've argued, even between us, even the guys that did it, you could argue that it is an exploit, and some people could even say it's cheating. You know? So
of course.
Yeah, it's half one and a dozen the other. You know?
It's like
not waiting for the doors to open.
Oh, what was that shit we used to do in Payday? The duping stuff.
Oh, when you look at the
and we used to dupe the key cards and all that kind of shit.
Oh yeah, well,
yeah.
What about that thing where I went and sat on the roof? And we had to get a helicopter to come over or something. Wasn't that a bit of an exploit?
Yep.
Like forcing a game mechanic or something?
Yeah, you're forcing a game mechanic to do something that it wouldn't normally do.
I just want to say that I didn't know what to do. My job was to sneak up and sit on the helipad, and that's all I did. Right?
You lying shit. We told you exactly what it was for.
But yeah,
good sit on there. Stuff that God's been delivered. We'll get a bit.
I mean, come on, guys. To me, that's not right. And like Beans brought up earlier, you know, not being able to do a puzzle in a game or something, and then looking it up on YouTube at a guide, that's not cheating. I mean, that's ruining the fun for yourself. That's not having any patience. But that's not cheating, is it? It's spoilers, maybe. You're spoiling the game's designed for it to be tough and challenging, for then you to work it out, for then you to get that dopamine release when you work it out and you feel good about yourself, right? If you look it up on YouTube, I suppose it's a bit of a spoiler, but it's not cheap, right? like Ken said earlier, we all discussed earlier, PvE games where it's just you, solo player games, server side games where you've got quality of life mods. They're called quality of life mods. They're not called cheat mods, right? It's not cheating. Everyone gets the same benefits. And if it's just you in a game, who cares? If you've got unlimited health and or unlimited ammo, or you're playing G2A and it's not online and you've got unlimited money so you can buy as many cars as you want, who cares? Your own fun, right? The problem lies is in highly competitive multiplayer games where you're playing against other humans and you're using software that gives you an advantage. Not hardware, so not headphones. You know, you could argue Cronus Max and shit like that, I guess. But generic stuff, fast internet, slow internet, fucking 160 hertz monitors to a 60 hertz monitor and all that. It is what it is. You know what I mean? It's the software stuff that you go out your way and you purchase with real money. That's when I think that there's an issue, and that's what the problem is, right? And Hesterly made a very controversial video back in the day about he made. I think the internet didn't get it, but he made a video from the point of view of the cheaters, hackers, right? Not necessarily the people that make the cheat, that buy the cheats and use the cheats, but the people that actually make the cheats. And how lucrative of a business and opportunity and demand is, right? I think that was the point he was trying to make, but everyone just went off their editing and missed the point. But unfortunately, it is an industry, and it's an industry in the gaming world that we unfortunately are going to have to live with until other tools, measures, knowledge, and we grow as human beings, I guess. Anyone else got anything else to say?
I think
I
we
think
pretty much.
that's just summed up what we talked about tonight. There, right?
Yeah. Again, I think the same as like what we were saying with a lot of what comes up with the microtransactions, with mods, with whatever, you know, it's the advantage thing again, isn't it? I suppose, you know, it's
Yeah.
if you're doing this if you're doing spawning shit or fucking using money saying blah 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 in your solo game time or whatever, you play the game how you fucking want, you bought it, so it's your problem.
Yeah.
You know? But when you're when what you do affects other people around you, I think that there's a problem. That's
where the issue is.
that's the way I see it. If you're gonna knowingly go shoot some fucker in the head and they've got no chance of survival or whatever in a PvP game, that's bang out of order.
Yeah,
That's me.
I mean, I think the analogy that you could use, right, is a man or a woman, right? Everyone, I don't care if you're in a relationship, you're married for years, everyone window shops, right? You know what I mean? Everyone does. You guys ain't gonna minute now. You've got fucking wives or whatever, and girlfriends or whatever.
Don't be fucking stupid, of course I do.
You know, everyone window shops. Do you go and buy? No. Right?
No, but you might go and get a taster.
Right? And then but it's the people that go and buy are cheaters. You've cheated. And it's exactly the same concept when it comes to video games and other aspects of cheating, right? It is the exact same concept.
So,
well, hold on.
Okay.
No, not really. In theory.
Right, here we go. Here we go.
In theory, right? If
now
you
you've
cheat,
started
you're
it.
only fucking up 4 people's lives. If you cheat in real life. If you cheat in a game, you're fucking up a lot more.
Ginge, I'm not being funny, right? If I get a headshot by a cheater in Tarkov, I'm pissed off for about 10 minutes. If my fucking dad goes and cheats on my mum, it ruins my family for life, bro. I mean,
Yeah, but look at this here, right? It only ruins your mum and your dad and whoever you cheated with and their partner. Everybody else is just collateral. It makes no difference.
Yeah, cheers. I'm sure my kids will see it that way, Ginger.
Yeah, yeah. I'm sure we saw it that way when that happened to us. Yeah.
Fucking hell.
Mate, you'll be fine. Your lass has got your favourite strap on.
Yo, Colour Joe, how you doing, my man? We've been talking about cheating this evening. We're kind of wrapping it up at the moment.
So, if you're using someone cheating on their other half as kind of the thing, so cheating by yourself would be what?
I don't know, mate.
Cutting
off the circulation to your hand and doing
things. Yeah, single player would be well, it would be single player, wouldn't it?
Yeah, I don't really know. I suppose using like a flashlight.
Suppose it depends on you.
Would that be cheating?
Suppose it depends if you've got a dog, doesn't it?
Oh, oh God. No, enough.
I'm never asking you to look after my dog.
Right, chat. I want to give you this opportunity. And Connor Joe, you'll be perfect for this. Welcome in, welcome in. Thank you so much for being here. Thoughts on people that consider porn cheating?
That's a stretch.
That is actually a really, really interesting subject, I guess.
Now, how Marsh answers this going to explain on how much porn he actually watches.
To be honest with you, mate, I don't really watch it. I have done, obviously. Who hasn't? But no, not really my thing. It's like window shopping. You can look, but you can't touch. There you go.
You can still taste. It offers like when you walk around Tesco's, they give you little tasters. When you go to and get the same thing, it's not cheating.
You know, it's an issue when you can smell it though.
Oh God. Okay. But yeah, basically, chat. Please, the beautiful minds that are in this chat now, can you just put a subject, gaming related, in the chat now of what you would like to talk about next?
Don't
next
forget
time.
we've got to include Ren and Vamp as well.
Of what you'd like to talk about next time. I would really appreciate it. Next couple of minutes or so. What's that, Ginge?
Risky games.
What does that mean?
I need to explain. Yeah, games that'll have sexual undertones or overtones in it.
Oh,
So for example, technically the beginning of Witcher 3 where he's in the bath.
Oh, okay.
Quite risky.
Asset flips.
The fact that what's her name was walking around naked in the first like 10 minutes of the game is technically risky.
Porn games and cheating.
What was it? Was it Witcher where the bird was fucking half naked half his arm?
Yes.
Technically not a porn game, but she spent a lot of time waving her shit about.
Asset flips. What do you mean by asset flips? As in like
Take me fucking face off.
third party people that make assets for developers to use within their games. That could be quite interesting.
How about crack mobile phone games?
I don't even know what that is, mate.
You know what? You know these
I'm
games
such
you
an
download
internet
from
noob.
Google Play. You know the games you get off for your phone on Google Play.
No, I don't. Yeah, carry
Well,
on.
there is sites where you can just download the install file and run it from your phone, and you'll install it with cheats on and don't pay the thing. So you get rid of all the microtransactions.
Marsh, I've got an idea.
Yeah.
Next time we do one of these, can we play marbles at the same time?
Ooh, in the background.
Yeah, we can play
Yes.
some marbles in the background.
Go on then.
Right, so we've got asset flips.
I would say ladies first because I'll be hilarious.
Asset flips. Is that what you mean by asset? Asset flips are games that buy a bunch of unreal assets, throw it together and put... Yeah, okay. Yeah. Unreal versus Unity. Yeah, okay.
Oh, you mean like the day before?
Right, Jins, can you put these into a...
No.
Or shall we... I think what we might do is we might decide during the Discord. And then announce it on the Discord,
Yeah.
right?
There's a lot of games like that, Beans.
So Asset
Or
Bits,
VA's
Unreal,
catalog.
Unity. Visual novels, and then we can force Marsh to play one on the stream. For research. Okay, thank you. Thank you for those ideas. I'll tell you what we're going to do is we're going to put a couple of ideas in the Discord, right? A lot of you that are here now are in the Discord, but if you're not, here's the link for the Discord. When I can find it. There it is. And then what we're going to do is we'll put those up, and then everyone can vote throughout the week on the Discord. And then in the next couple of weeks, which will be, we just get the right time. So the next podcast will be on the 29th, Wednesday the 29th. And we'll also be doing our follow-up on around then as well. So that should be cool.
You know what? I reckon you should
Yes.
play Season 2, Larry.
Yes, Beans. No, yeah, good. Nice. I'm looking at you, The Last of Us. No, I get that. Same with music albums, right? The first album's always banging, and the second album's just shit most of the time. And they might save it with the third one.
Like the Lo-Fi Rebels.
Yeah. We've only ever done one, and we're only ever going to do one. That's it, done.
Yeah,
Can't-
but you
can't
mean
be-
no shit.
You meant to make one good one, though,
Can't be a
Marsh. You know
shit
that.
second one. But yeah, I think that's how we're gonna play. We're gonna play this week one. So I'm gonna set up a text channel with ideas within the Discord. Plus, I would love it if people got a little bit more fruity in the Discord, especially if they've got something to be fruity about, right? And then you
Fruity.
guys can get to.
Define fruity.
Well, I can't define.
Yeah,
fruity.
careful, you got Beans and Ren about.
Yeah. And then we
You
can
might get too fruity.
and then we can we can put it out to a vote, and then we can pick the next topic, and then everyone knows, and it should be banging. But Rage, thank you, sir.
Oh yeah, I'm still waiting for me game of fucking marbles.
I haven't got it updated, dude. Check.
They go fruity in general.
Ginge, thank you, sir.
Anyways,
Garion, thank you, sir.
he's an AFK.
Yeah, he had to go. He did message me. He had to nip out, but thank you. Garion's got like he's got like a really techie side of these discussions, which I love. You know what I
Yes.
mean? I love it. I actually love that sort of point of view. Because you notice he's quiet for quite a while because he's searching all of what we're saying, and he's like, ooh. I love
Me
it.
and Ginger
Absolutely love
more
it.
like blunt instruments.
Yes. And then obviously, you know, I'm the final product.
Oh god.
Right.
I bet I regret that.
Don't clip it. Legends. Catch you soon, and I'll be back in a minute. Okay. Right, chat. Unfortunately, we've come to that time where we're going to go on a raid. Right. Just a quick before we go. Thank you. Foremost is thank you for being here. Thanks for the support. I really, really hope that these podcasts are a little bit different. But also, what I really hope is later on down the line that we can get some more people involved in them as well. And I'm hoping to be able to actually get some guests from outside of our sort of community to get involved in the podcast as well. For instance, I have a very good friend at work that is starting his own business. And I think he'd be really interesting to get on. also have some other musicians, some people like that in my life that you know, that have been there, done it, got the t-shirt, and now are just enjoying the, you know, the quieter life when it comes to music and stuff. Again, would be a really cool interview. They're also avid gamers as well, so I think that'd be really cool. So yeah, so like I say, I'm going to put a text channel up in there. So please feel free to jot some ideas down. I mean, even if it's as crazy as, you know, it'd be cool to get this type of person on if I can, and talk about it. You know, or we might have some people within our community that do some really obscure, amazing, wonderful jobs, or have had some crazy experience in their life, whether they've been in the armed forces, or they've, you know, climbed a mountain or whatever, right? And that could come in and share their experiences and try and learn from each other, basically. So yeah, anything like that, any suggestions would be absolutely amazing. Now, I understand that you guys are here every week, most of you without fail, and amazing. These do go up on YouTube in their entirety, and for if you get something from these, and you think a friend or a loved one, or, you know, anyone you know might get something from it as well, might enjoy it, might just loves podcasts, loves these little sort of unique podcasts, please, please, please share it across to them. Let them know that it's a thing. Get them involved. You know, the quicker well, I say the quicker, it doesn't really long how long it takes, but the more people we have around us, the bigger and better the community will get, which will give us access to better knowledge and better things, right? And a better community. Just, you know, a happier and healthier, stable community. So, really looking forward to it. Oh my God. And, yep, Ren gave Beans the clap. So, there we go. Fun facts of the stream. But yeah, we're going to go on a raid chat, as we always do. Let's see who's about tonight. And then, obviously, we'll be back tomorrow. Now, we'll be tomorrow from 7, which is our normal time on a Thursday. Friday as well from 7. Unfortunately, there won't be any stream this Saturday. Because I've got my best... Well, he is a best mate. My bandmate is getting married on Saturday. So we've got his... a little bit in the day, and then we've got something going on in the evening. So should be really cool. I'm really looking forward to it. We might see if we can squeeze an extra stream in, or do an extra longer one on Friday or whatever. But again, I'll keep you guys up to date with everything. Right, let's have a look. See who's a bait. Tell you what. This might be a blast from the past from some of you, these sort of looking games. But we're going to go and have a little raid of Faithful Hunter. A guy that's been around the channel for quite a bit, another streamer. He's playing some really cool looking game, actually. But yeah, just going to go in, show some love. He raided us over the weekend, so it's nice to return the favour. And yeah, hope you guys enjoy. I have some that you can raid. His name's Mad Marsh. Play Hunt. Thank you, Beans. Appreciate that. What are you? Right, okay. I do need to get better at Hunt. But yeah, we're gonna head over and raid chat. But yeah, thank you again. Thank you so much. I will see you all tomorrow from 7. Looking forward to it, and we will be playing some Hunt tomorrow. Hopefully, we'll have hopefully we can get Ren involved tomorrow, and he can come and teach me how to play Hunt. But yeah, until then, love you all, and I'll speak to you very soon.